For a carton of cigarettes, Rebecca Hugh was shot and killed behind the counter of a convenience store. For 20 bucks, Gabe Jordan was shot in the back while walking his dog down his own street. He's now paralyzed from the waist down. I want to talk to you today about the problem of rising violent crime in Sacramento, a couple of the causes related to our budget and current fiscal crisis, and also propose you a solution of considering buying a taser in order to protect yourself. So let's go ahead and look at some crime statistics applying here to the Sacramento area about violent crime. According to the FBI in their Universal Crime Report, published in 2008, 3,282 people were reported victims of violent crime. Now keep in mind that less than half of crimes that actually occur are actually reported to the police. So this number is probably about half of what it really is. Sacramento PD, in a publication published on their website in November 2009, reported that violent crime has gone up 54% in the last 5 years, since 2003. And criminals also know that there's less cops on the street, which means it's Christmas for the criminals. KCRA News interviewed an inmate being released from the Sacramento County Jail in June 2009. This inmate was quoted as saying, "There's going to be hella crime because there's a lot less eyes looking at crime." So, what does this mean to you? Rising in violent crime puts you at risk, your personal safety. Now that you know about some of the statistics and the rise in violent crime, I would like to bring the attention to some of the causes. What are some of these underlying causes? We all know that our state and the federal government and the economy has been slumped. We're kind of suffering a lot in the budget area, and we have a huge fiscal debt in California. And this is facilitating a rise in violent crime, especially here in the Sacramento area. The California State Treasury reports that as of July 2003, the state of California had $26 billion in debt. 5 years later, in June 2008, the state treasury reports that we had $52 billion in state debt. In 5 years, we doubled our debt. Now, this fiscal impact affects law enforcement agencies in a couple ways. One is layoffs of police and sheriffs. Sacramento Sheriff John McGinnis announced that we were going to lay off 300 sheriff's deputies. That was June 2009. 300 deputies no longer have a job or are no longer out here protecting the community. At the same time, the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors announced that they would be cutting the Sacramento Sheriff's budget by $80 million this year alone. Now, police officers and sheriffs aren't the only thing that suffers. Also, there's a lot of crime programs that address a lot of problems. A couple programs that were cut this year from the Sheriff's Department was the POP program, which is Problem-Oriented Policing. That is basically a specific program where officers are assigned to address a specific problem. It's highly effective, and it is more effective because it moves away from the traditional patrol style of just street cops. The K-9 unit has been shut down, and the Sheriff's STAR, which is their tactical air, is gone because we don't have money to fuel the helicopters. Now that you know of some of the causes relating to the budget which are affecting the staffing and programs of law enforcement, which is affecting how safe you are in your community, because there's less cops on the street, there's less programs, which is resulting in violent crime rising, which means you're at risk. So I'd like to offer you with an innovative solution to protect yourself. My solution is purchasing a taser. What is a taser? A taser is also known as an electronic control device. And what a taser does is it delivers electrical pulses into the human body in order to incapacitate somebody temporarily. Now I'd like you guys to take a look at a taser I have here. This here is an M18. It's an M18 taser. It's an older model. These are the kind I carry on the job. Obviously, unfortunately, the Los Rios Police Department would not authorize me to have a live showing of it, although we had willing subjects. So all I can really do for you is an arc display. An arc display that's an arc display. Now normally a taser is going to use a cartridge. This cartridge shoots 2 darts. This is a 15-footer because it's yellow. So up to 15 feet away, I can incapacitate my target. And this is going to give you an opportunity to escape if you need to. Run away, call for help, or maybe if you're savvy while he's getting tased, you can put the boot to him and arrest him or something. Taser International is the leading company and manufactures tasers, which is the taser I've shown you today. It is made by Taser International. Why they're so effective is because they use a technology called neuromuscular incapacitation. What is neuromuscular incapacitation? Basically what it does is it interrupts your central nervous system. An example of this would be if 2 people were talking on the phone and a third person picked up the line and started screaming at the top of their lungs, the 2 people would no longer be able to talk to each other. This taser interrupts the signals from your brain to your body, effectively incapacitating a person. The U.S. Department of Justice published a paper, ECD Use and Liability, in 2007, basically addressing why pepper spray is ineffective compared to taser. Pepper spray is ineffective against motivated aggressive attackers because it relies on pain compliance, where the taser is going to incapacitate your central nervous system. It's also highly effective on people on drugs that can't feel anything. So, how much do these things cost? The standard civilian model, which I don't have today unfortunately, a C2, is around $300. There's a lot of great benefits that Taser International offers, like lifetime warranties, replacements. You can't have a taser if you're a felon. So if you're convicted of a felony, too bad, you can't have a taser. Tasers are a practical and effective means to protect yourself. So I've talked to you about the problem of rising violent crime today, some of the causes related to the budget, and a probable solution to be able to protect yourself. Most people think that will never happen to them when it comes to crimes. But don't wait to be a victim, because you are your first line of defense.